What's going on, everyone? Cannabis Express 420. First off, my sugar gliders are in here, so you might hear them throughout the duration of this video. I hope that does not bother you. But today, we are going to talk about flushing your plants. What is it? How does it affect your plants? And do I personally recommend you guys doing it if you're growing synthetically? Normally, in the flower stage for a organic grow through, you will do a final top dressing in the last couple of weeks of flower, let the plant go through its natural senescence towards the end of its grow, and just harvest like normal. But for synthetic growers, we mix our minerals directly into our water, and our plant uptakes every single thing. Kind of like how humans take pre-workout. It's like a very mixed in stimulant, and you get every single thing. You don't get to pick and choose what it is. That's kind of the synthetic way of applicating nutrients. Recently, with a lot of legality opening up around the plant we all know and love, there has been a lot more flexibility in the research people are allowed to do for this plant. There has been a study that came out recently that involves flushing, and I wanted to talk about it again with you guys and talk about my viewpoint and how it's kind of changed over the past couple of years. So at first, I heard flushing and I thought it was a requirement. You had to do it. It was something that was going to break down a lot of the minerals, get rid of the minerals in the plant, heavy metals and all that stuff. Going to get rid of it all inside of the plant, inside of the bud, so then you have clean smoke. And that was how you got the white ash. That is what we believed in the beginning, just because then you wouldn't be putting metals into or minerals into the water, into the plant, and the plant taking up the minerals. And recently, we've discovered that that's not the case at all. That's not the reason flushing should be applied to plants. What we eventually found out was that the nutrients are taken up by the plant, and if it takes up too much nutrients towards the end, you won't have that natural fade that goes with having less food, getting towards a end of the life cycle, which is what's going on with the senescence. But why is all this knowledge about senescence and flushing and feeding all important when it comes to figuring out whether you want to flush your plants or not? It's because there was a study done a couple years back where they had 3 groups of plants. One group was flushed for 14 days, so a 2-week flushing cycle. One group was flushed for 7 days, so flushed for an entire week. And one group of plants rather, were not flushed at all. The differences between the bud ended up being virtually nothing. There was no difference in the potency, the terpenes, or the yield, or at least not significant enough to the scientists conducting the study. And they found there was no difference between any of the bud chemically. What does this mean? This means that whether you flush for 7 days, or 14 days, or not at all, there is no difference in your bud. There is going to be no actual measurable scientific difference. But what is important is that when you're looking into how it affects your plants and how it affects your garden, you have to look at least for the average home grower, you have to look at how it affects your budget as well. So do I recommend flushing your plants? Personally, yes, I would go for a 2-week flush if you can get away with it. Feed up until the point your plants, your trichomes are developed enough for harvest. Go through a 14-day flushing cycle where you stop feeding nutrients, and therefore the plant will stop a lot of its growth. Main reason behind flushing at this point, scientifically speaking, is to save money by not feeding towards the end of harvest or right before harvest. That's pretty much the only difference. Is it's going to save you a little bit of money. So will I be flushing those plants in there? Yes, I will, if I don't switch them to organic for some reason during the flower stage, which would be interesting, switching from synthetic growing to organic growing virtually halfway through the grow cycle. And also an update on those girls for those of you who actually care. I don't think I'm going to go with the trellis net technique in there. I just don't personally think it's feasible with the space I have, the equipment I'm using, and all that kind of stuff. I think it would be way too cluttered, and there would just be way too many moving parts in there for it to be feasible and actually like possible. So that is a little bit of a change. I'm probably going to go and see how they grow, decide a little bit further on. But hey, if you like this video, hit the like button, because that's all I got for you today. If you are new here and you enjoy my content, go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you've been subscribed for a while and you really like my content, you might want to hit the join button and join my membership program and be an express member of the channel and get to see exclusive content, one of which being my new morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. So you're not going to want to miss that. But until next time, I will see you. Thank you very much.